Hey everybody, this is Bill Huizenga, obviously in Washington, not in West Michigan, hoping to head back home this afternoon. But I gotta tell you, I'm gonna be walking in for our last vote here momentarily, and I am just flabbergasted that my Democrat colleagues are going to be voting affirmative on this bill, and here's one of the reasons why. This is the state of play, where not only are we going into debt for our own country, we're now going to be going into debt for other countries. And I'm gonna. And this is kind of a little awkward, but I'm gonna read a statement that I had intended to read on the House floor, but the Democrat majority limited our time this morning of 1 minute, and so I wasn't able to get that done. So I'm going to do it here with you now, and then we're going to talk a little bit about this. So here's my statement that I intend on the House floor. I rise in opposition to the partisan bill we have been debating the past couple of days. Under language inserted at the Rules Committee, the U.S. would direct the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, to lavish $3 trillion on countries around the world. This is a permanent, no-strings-attached liquidity for foreign governments. The Democrats' bill would therefore send at least $20 billion to the world's foremost state sponsor of terrorism, Iran. It means at least $17 billion for the Assad regime in Syria. There's also more than $170 billion for the Chinese Communist Party as it takes over Hong Kong and builds internment camps, and another $75 billion for Russia. Meanwhile, an amendment I offered to prevent Americans' banks from financing Iranians who have been sanctioned for terrorism and human rights abuses wasn't even made in order by the Rules Committee. Strange priorities from the Democrats. It's obscene to attach billions of dollars for China, Russia, and state sponsors of terrorism to legislation that funds our military. I urge a no vote on this bill, and I'm going to be voting no. And this is to fund our military, and we are going to be directing the IMF, which, by the way, I had jurisdiction over at one point when I chaired one of the subcommittees on financial services. It was called the Monetary Policy and Trade Subcommittee. And so I'm very familiar with the IMF, very familiar with the good work it does, and very familiar with the bad work that it does. And I'm telling you, directing them to go spend $3 trillion on countries like China and Syria and Russia is lunacy. It's completely nuts. So this is a problem. We have to deal with it. I hope the Senate. I don't have great expectations out of Michigan's two senators, but I'm hoping that someone in the Senate realizes how foolish this is and what we would be doing if we moved ahead with this. And so again, no hearing in committee. It got inserted in at the Rules Committee. My amendment that wouldn't allow American banks and therefore our deposits as American taxpayers be used to fund Iranian terrorists was rejected. They wouldn't even take up my amendment, yet they slid in a directive for $3 trillion. It feels like a jillion. $3 trillion of support for countries around the world when we can't even get an agreement here in the House and the Senate about what we're going to do with the extension of unemployment or any of the other spending that we're doing. So anyway, time to take a breath. But I just hope that I just hope that cooler heads prevail over in the Senate, and that they do not go in this direction. So, well, I'm getting ready to, sorry, it just dropped. I'm getting ready to walk on the House floor with my Zealand-made Primera Plastics face shield. My friend Noel Cuellar and his great team over there pivoted from making automotive parts to face shields. And so I'm wearing that on the House floor. But so, hey, everybody, I hope you have a good weekend. Enjoy a little time out in West Michigan, but just keep praying for our country, keep praying for our government, because we need it. We'll talk to you soon.